Welcome to Project U 2.2, the podcast where life and leadership meet endurance. I'm Greg Helmer, joined by my wife and partner in life, Carrie. Each week, we dive deep into the mindset, the neuroscience, and the real grit it takes to stop drifting and start living with clarity, confidence, and endurance. This is about real life, real struggles, and real growth. So lace up, it's time to live with endurance. If you missed Carrie's episode this past Wednesday, stop what you're doing and go listen to it. She absolutely crushed it. The imposter syndrome, quieting your inner critic to shine. And yes, I call her my Carrie babe. That's how she's saved in my iPhone. So when my phone lights up, it doesn't just say Carrie, it says Carrie babe with hearts. Dudes, trust me. If you don't have your wife's name pop up like that, you're missing out. But here's the thing. Carrie's episode hit hard because she was real. She told the story of winning homecoming queen and feeling like it must have been a mistake. Like maybe it was even a cruel joke. That's what the imposter syndrome does. It can steal our joy. Carrie nailed it when she said imposter syndrome isn't a signal of failure. It's often proof that you are growing. That's gold. But let me add my perspective. Imposter syndrome is also a test. It's the voice at mile 20 of a marathon saying, you don't belong here. Quit. And you have two choices. Believe the lie and fold, or suck it up and endure. Prove you do belong, even when your mind tells you otherwise. In my book, Lead and Live with Endurance, I wrote that endurance isn't just physical. It's mental. It's spiritual. When I first started running in high school, I had asthma. I'd hit 2 laps in gym class, good old PE, and feel like I was dying. My lungs screamed, you don't belong here. Sound familiar? That's imposter syndrome in the body's language. But with training, mile after mile, week after week, I learned that voice was lying. Let's go back to October of 2001, the Chicago Marathon. I was fit. I was ready. And yet, at mile 23, I hit the wall. Everything in me screamed, stop. You are done. Greg, you don't belong out here with these runners. My quads, they were shredded. My stomach cramped. I dry heaved twice. I seriously wanted to crawl off the course and just simply disappear. That's imposter syndrome, mile 23 edition. It's loudest right before the breakthrough. Here's what the neuroscience says. When you hit that wall, whether in running or in life, your brain's fight or flight system is firing. It's trying to protect you by telling you to quit. But endurance retrains the brain. Every time you push through, you literally rewire your neural pathways to say, I can handle this. I belong here. That's what imposter syndrome is really asking. Will you stop at mile 23? Or will you endure? One of my mentors, David Healings, once said, I have a gift for leading with endurance. That's my strength, was helping others push through challenges. And yet, even with this affirmation, there were days I doubted myself. Days I thought, maybe I'm not the right guy for leadership coaching. Maybe I don't belong in this room. Maybe I shouldn't be the keynote speaker. That's classic imposter syndrome. The outside world says, you are capable, you belong, but the inside voice whispers, you're a freaking fraud. You suck. You can't do this. Here's the truth. Both voices are always there. The question is, which one do you train yourself to listen to? In the warm-up section of my book, I wrote, surrendering is not an option because forever after, when you look in the mirror, the reflection will tell you if you quit. That applies here too. When imposter syndrome whispers, quit, you are not good enough, the mirror will always know if you listened or not. And just last week, I was reminded of this on a morning run by Lake Michigan. The cool fall air hit the warmer water and the fog rolled in thick. I couldn't see more than a few steps ahead. I lost my bearings, but then I caught sight of the lighthouse glow. I locked onto it, and I kept moving. That's purpose. That's faith. That's endurance. Life will always bring fog, confusion, grief, setbacks. But if you fix your eyes on the light, you'll find your way through. Now let's circle back to my Carrie Babe strategies. She said, name it. Yep, call it what it is, imposter syndrome. She said, reframe it. Dudes, this is key. When that voice says you don't belong, flip it. I'm growing. That's why it feels hard. And she said, celebrate the wins. Carrie's right. But here's my twist. Celebrate not just the wins, but the endurance. The fact that you showed up, that you pushed through and didn't quit, that's worth more than the crown or the sash. So yeah, Carrie brings the compassion. I bring the grit. Together, that's why this podcast works. So here's my challenge this week. Identify one place in your life where imposter syndrome shows up. Write it down. Push through anyway. Take the audition. Apply for the job. Say yes to the opportunity. Just finish the damn mile. Because here's the deal. Imposter syndrome isn't proof you don't belong. It's proof you are growing. And if you endure long enough, you'll discover you were ready all along. We don't quit, we don't coast, and we don't surrender. If you're ready to reclaim your clarity, your confidence, and your endurance, head over to projectu22.org to learn more about one-on-one coaching, couples coaching, and retreats. And don't forget, every Wednesday at 6:22 a.m., my Carrie Babe brings her own powerful perspective. Until next time, stay strong, stay real, and keep living with endurance. See you at 6:22.